Episode 76. Now, remember how I said I would never use green screen again? Another thing is I will never use white walls again.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Q kind of pointed that out and said, don't use white walls because, Shout out to Marcus. Marcus started color grading. Marcus kind of came in and started color grading at this episode. So he fixed some things.
Yeah.
But it was like, until we got the color corrector, it was hard to like really color grade because everything was so off-putting because of the white.
Yeah, I got to get one of those too.
Yeah, color check. I'll show you the one I got.
Yeah.
But it's well worth an investment. But I think we finally had the color checker at 79. So for the next 3 episodes, it was white walls and like post-edit color grading as opposed to pre-edit color grading. So Marcus did what he could, but I hated the white walls. Quinn hated the white walls. We all hated the white walls. Fuck you, leave me alone. But here's a clip from episode 76, The Rule, Not the Exception, featuring Renee.
So, but the thing is after...
Co-parenting at its finest, but like...
Yes.
You wouldn't be with him again.
No, I wouldn't. And we were never together after my child was conceived. So, because after that, I went to beauty school, and then that's when I just became like a full-blown lesbian, like wearing boxer briefs, like dressing like a boy.
Bisexual?
I hate that word. I feel like it's so...
What the fuck?
I don't like the word bisexual for multiple reasons, but... I'll get there. But I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like lesbian. They're just fucking gay.
There's just so much stigma to that. So basically, because it's like, okay, so I started dating women, but then I had a baby, and then I'm a full-blown lesbian. But when you meet other lesbians, they're like, oh, she's tainted because she's had a baby. She's been with a man before. I'm telling you, that's how.
Lesbians sound like Andrew Tate.
Yes.
Andrew Tate's ass today.
Yes. So, she's tainted. Blah blah blah. So it was just like.
Shout out to Renee.
Bro, okay. I did not see that episode, and when she said I went full-blown lesbian, I said, oh my God.
Okay, so the way she described it, the way she said, shout out to Renee, Renee's probably like, outside of maybe Destiny, Renee's probably my favorite female guest. It was just a lot of our chemistry was good in the episode, but it was just like a lot of the back and forth. Like it was a very entertaining conversation. I felt like I could dive through. We can get through the certain line. We piggyback off each other well, but it was just like really good conversation.
Right.
So I was like, oh, top, like you're guaranteed in my top 3 favorite female guests that I've had. But nobody's bringing Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore is top notch. But
that story that nigga told.
She fucking forced me. But anyways, shut up, Brandon Moore. But no, she was basically explaining where like she was like, I always thought I liked girls, but I dated a guy because I thought that's what you were supposed to do because that was the normal thing to do because my sister dated a guy. And I felt like I was weird for not wanting to date a guy. So I dated a guy and then he got me pregnant. And then when I started making my own decisions in life, I was like, wait, I never really liked you niggas. I always liked women.
Yeah.
So then that's where the conversation comes where like when I started dating girls would say, you're tainted because you had a son.
Yeah.
So.
But honestly,
but she's bi-curious because she dates guys and girls. So fuck all that shit she's talking. She's not full-blown lesbian. She likes women and men.
So why does
Shout out Renee.
So why does she hate the stigma behind bi? I guess you already.
Because some people don't like being in boxes.
Okay, that's true.
I don't know why she doesn't like bisexual out of that. But she basically said like, she just felt like she's in a box whenever people call her bisexual. That's what I got out of that.
Okay.
So. Yeah, shout out the bisexuals, I guess. I don't know.
Bruh, there's this, going back to what Renee just said about being tainted and everything. There's like, so on Twitter, because you know I love me some fucking Twitter, right? There are dykes on Twitter that be low-key taking dick. And motherfuckers be like, so is she bi? Are they gay? Are they whatever? They're like, nah, I'm just a dyke that be taking dick every now and then. I'm like, so that's still...
Yeah, that means she's not emotionally invested in men. It actually makes sense because bitches can't make up their minds anyway. Man, all women are gay until they're straight.
Huh?
All women are gay until they're straight. That's why it's okay for women to kiss women, but not be considered gay.
True.
Because they're all allowed to do gay shit until it's time to be straight.
God forbid a nigga kiss one of his homeboys.
Nigga, you're just gay for the rest of your life. You're not even having a gay experience.
Right.
You're just gay for the rest of your life. If you do the accidental Sasuke and Naruto kiss, and you accidentally fall into a nigga's face and you kiss him, you're gay for the rest of your life.
Or you're trying to whisper something, both of y'all just.
Right, you turn your head.
Or you going for
You're gay for the rest of your life.
or you going for a dab and he goes in for a hug and your hand gets trapped in between.
Bro, and you accidentally touch cheeks with a nigga, you're a homosexual and you like dick. But if you're a woman, you're just experimenting.
Right. So you've been experimenting for 20 years. Okay, sure. Okay. But a nigga accidentally kiss another nigga. A nigga's lips
You were
accidentally
born
touch.
gay and you're gonna die gay.
Right. Oh, but you can experiment for 50 years. Ain't nobody gonna say a goddamn thing. Ain't nobody gonna say about auntie and her close friend. We all have that auntie.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, this is just my close personal friend. Bitch, that's been your wife for 20 years. Stop it. Stop it. Cause look, we all know that one aunt.
Yeah, we all have that one on.
Yeah.
And she likes the cooter. Anyways, shout out to Renee.
That's such a funny word to me.
Cooter?
Yeah, cooter.
Shout out to Renee. Shout out to episode 67. The rule, not the exception. The Patreon was fucking phenomenal. Like,
Oh, I bet.
yeah, it was a lot of being on the spectrum of gay. Because I was arguing for, like, yeah, just because you do something, just because you do quote unquote gay shit with your woman doesn't mean that you're gay.
Okay.
If your woman pegs you, that doesn't make you gay. If
That's
a
what I
woman
was
is
about to
pegging you.
ask. I'm like,
Yeah,
so
that
if
was
a
the
nigga
conversation.
likes getting his ass ate and getting pegged, does that make that nigga gay?
No,
Or does
not
that...
if a woman does it.
Okay. I don't make the rules. I'm just asking questions for the niggas that don't really know.
If you rub your ball sack against a woman's coochie, technically that would be the equivalent of scissoring. Or is she gay?
Hold up, because I've never
If you
heard-
rub your gooch against a woman's pussy, that would technically be the equivalent of scissoring. Does that make her gay?
Okay.
If you dry hump a woman, because at that point you're not penetrating,
Yeah.
but you're making sexual body interactions with her,
Yeah.
is she gay?
I don't know.
The answer is no, she's not. Therefore, how can a nigga be gay by being pegged?
But no, that's the first time
I'm not into pegging. I'm just trying to fight for you niggas that aren't.
That's the first time I've ever heard a nigga rubbing his balls against a girl's coochie and
Bro,
rubbing
we
the
was all
gooch.
dry humping in 5th grade.
I know that, but
I did not expect you to agree with that.
I'm saying, like, when you said rubbing balls against the coochie, I thought you meant like this nigga literally taking his balls and just rubbing them up
Niggas don't know
against.
how to work their balls in 5th grade.
That's why I was asking that. Hey, I don't know. Some niggas move. Some
Niggas'
niggas.
balls ain't dropped.
Some niggas was having. Hey, some of y'all motherfuckers was fucking in elementary school, and that's why y'all had kids by the 7th grade. You're nasty.
Base. There's no, yeah, he's not lying.
I know a couple. Yo.
Yes, just because your woman likes you like your ass ate and you like your woman to peg it doesn't make you gay. I like my ass ate. I'm not a fan of pegging. Not that I've ever tried it and like disliked it. I just don't think I like my butt being penetrated. That doesn't make me straight for not liking my butt penetrated. That just means I have things that I do and don't like in life. And
Right.
penetration in my butt is one of them.
Word to 2 Chainz. He said he'll try anything once. I don't know what he meant by that, but
For episode 77.
2 Chainz said it.
Trump and R. Kelly in a casket match.
Oh my God! What the fuck? What did I miss?
The release of Rap and Wrestle podcast. Shout out to Rap and Wrestle podcast. Whatever I do is podcast under fucking YCC Entertainment.
Wow.
Shout out to Gary Oliver.
That's a wild title.
Rap and Wrestle?
No.
Oh, Trump and R. Kelly in a casket
Yes.
match? Well, he had explained to me what casket match was, and somehow we started talking about R. Kelly. And I said celebrity death match. What if Trump and R. Kelly did a casket match against each other? Episode name. So,
Okay, tracking.
the thing I liked the most about this episode was it means I'm staying true to podcast release because Q watched this and we talked about it and he said this might as well have been episode 0, and I said good. It's supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
When you come on Our Sins and Woes, I have the versatility to be able to talk about anything, but for that it just felt weird because I didn't know that much about wrestling.
Right.
So he had to explain a lot of stuff. When Blurred Watch came on, all we did was talk about movies and TV shows when they came on. When The Six came on, all we did was talk about video games the whole time. When Tunes and Tantrums came on, all we did was talk about music the entire time. So everybody's time that their podcast release episode comes out, it's always supposed to feel like episode 0.
Yeah.
It's always supposed to be about their podcast and how that kind of incorporates with Our Sins and Woes. Everybody's going to come back once they do episode 20.
Yeah.
Like for episode 20, they're coming back. So Blurred Watch is the closest to episode 20 because they're at episode 16 right now. When they get to episode 20, they're coming back on Our Sins and Woes. So we're gonna spend the whole movie talking about movies, video games, TV shows, comic books, and video games.
Yeah.
When The Six hits 20, they're gonna come back and we're gonna spend a whole episode talking about video games. When Tunes and Tantrums hits 20, they're gonna come back and talk about like all that's gonna happen when everybody comes back on because that's the whole point of Our Sins and Woes is the flagship show.
Right.
So
right.
it has to promote the most of YCC. If another show passes me up, yeah, nigga, everybody's going to your show now.
Yeah.
But Our Sins and Woes is the flagship show for the time being because it has the most episodes, it has the longest, it's the most Patreons, the most like individual subscribers as far as like views and stuff like that. So it's the flagship show.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why everybody comes on my show. I already know when I get in fucking Tunes and Tantrums, we're gonna do a breakdown of every best album of the year for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I know when I get on the sticks, we're gonna do because when they do their 21st episode, that's when I'll go on all their shows.
And they'll be the 1%ers.
Correct. So I'll go on all their shows. I know when I go on Tunes and Tantrums, we're talking about the best album of the year over the last 20 years. I know when I go on the
that's
sticks,
gonna be good.
we're doing a lore breakdown of Kingdom Hearts. Like I know like. But it's got to wait till 21.
Right.
Because if I just go on your episode at episode 4 and like it's not really doing anything for you.
Yeah.
Who knows if you're gonna make it episode 5?
Right.
At least I know if you're at episode 21, you're in the top 1%.
Yeah, it's a
because
bit
we're
of-
1%ers over here.
It's a bit of a incentive.
Correct. So, but yeah, it's supposed to feel like episode 0. It's supposed to feel like an introduction of their podcast. So it's supposed to highlight their podcast, not just Our Sins and Woes. Now, there's a lot of Patreon talk in there where we got a little outside of wrestling. We talked about other things, but for the public, the free nigga portion, yes, I want to stay on that topic of like talking about what they're going to be talking about on their show. Still make it Our Sins and Woes-esque. You get on their podcast, you're probably not gonna think it's a comedy podcast like Our Sins and Woes.
Right.
You watch wrestling, you're probably not gonna be laughing the whole show.
Right.
Our Sins and Woes, you're expected to laugh a little. Because we have fun over here, over at Our Sins and Woes.